Good morning.
Good morning. It is Tuesday,
It is.
January the 19th,
Yes.
the day before the presidential inauguration,
Yes.
thanks to an amendment to the Constitution. Otherwise, the presidential inauguration would be till March the 4th.
Oh, that's right.
I don't remember which amendment that is, but it's
I
like,
don't either.
it was the lame duck amendment where it's like, okay, look, people, if Congress starts meeting January the 6th, why not go ahead and get the new president sooner rather than later?
Yeah.
Anyway, but it is supposedly National Quitters Day.
National Quitters Day?
This is the day that, and we'll pick this back up, I guess, because it'll, but where most people, on average, people quit on their New Year's resolutions.
Interesting.
I don't know if that is because the 19th is just the run out, or if that is every year the Tuesday after Martin Luther King Jr. Day, because it's, so many people get the holiday out, and then it's like, okay, I just came off a 3-day weekend, I'm going back.
I'm done. Just shy of 3 weeks, essentially.
Yes. So,
Interesting.
I thought so too. Meet me, O Christ, in this stillness of morning. Move me, O Spirit, to quiet my heart. Mend me, O Father, from yesterday's harms. From the discords of yesterday, resurrect my peace. From the discouragements of yesterday, resurrect my hope. From the weariness of yesterday, resurrect my strength. From the doubts of yesterday, resurrect my faith. From the wounds of yesterday, resurrect my love. Let me enter this new day, aware of my need, and awake to your grace, O Lord. Amen.
Amen.
So, National Quitters Day, we'll combine that with our discussion about, about the lottery, which, I mean, a lottery is a tax on people who are bad at math, and doubly so in the state of Arkansas, because that $5 lottery ticket that you bought to support education, $1 of it goes to scholarships, $1 of it goes back into the prize system, $2 of it goes to run the lottery, and $1 of it's lost to waste and corruption. So, give $1 to a college kid and smile and go on with your day. Give $1 to a college kid or $1 to a random stranger and go on with life.
If you're going to spend $5 anyway, give $5 to the college student instead of $1.
Yeah, but anyway, so that's gambling. Always keep in mind the house always wins.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way it's structured. I mean, do you want to go down to the casino in Pine Bluff or over to the one in Hot Springs? That's kind of your business, but realize they make money.
Mm-hmm.
What they do is they serve to shuffle money from person A to person B, and they take a cut as the money passes through.
They take a big cut.
So, just keep that in mind. And with the state-run lotteries, they take a cut, the state takes a cut as it passes through. Then the people, you realize that like when Arkansas first started the lottery, they paid the guy to set up the lottery something like $800,000 to basically copy and paste the plan from South Carolina and then use Microsoft Word's find and replace to take all the words South Carolina and replace it with Arkansas.
I could have done that. Why didn't I try to land that job?
I'm still trying to get Auburn to pay me $2 million not to coach next year. But,
I could have even made that look pretty.
How did he get that?
Mean, yeah.
He had a buddy who was one of the government people in charge of the initial state lottery
that's my
commission.
problem. I don't have
We don't have
anybody's. I don't have anybody's in the right place.
So it's
I'm like Garth. I've got friends in low places.
friends in low places. it's a scam, and realize that $5. The dollar went to education. The other $4 that just kind of evaporated into nothingness, in all honesty, you could have given $1 to a college kid and spent $4 at a locally owned business and powered the economy. And you say, oh, but it helps education. You do understand that every higher education institution in the state of Arkansas went up not only the normal amount, but they went up excessively more and priced in the lottery scholarship in the first 3 years it existed.
Yep.
They went up not the usual 7 to 10%. They included an extra $1,000 to $2,000 worth of fees and such that are kind of masked because they don't show up as tuition, just as tuition increases. There's also, well, we added this fee and that fee. Why? People can afford it because of the lottery. It did not increase access to education. It just didn't. Skyrocketing student loan debt that everybody talks about being a problem, it wouldn't be skyrocketing if the lottery was actually an effective method of helping people increase access to education. Anyway, but we're going to talk about the lottery because we were talking about it this morning on our walk, and the Powerball lottery jackpot is at somewhere around $800 million right now.
Yep.
$800 million. If nobody hits it tomorrow night in the next drawing, it will go over $1 billion.
Taxes galore.
Yes, taxes galore. Yeah. So we were kind of joking about, well, that'd be that might not, I might not take that money with a clean conscience, but it would sure, ease it a little bit.
Well,
Buy some soft pillows.
It came back to the feeling of today we'd like to just quit our jobs and run off to the lake and hide. And it doesn't even, I love my job. I mean, it's not that I have a bad job or anything. It's just today I don't feel like doing it. And so, hey,
I could afford
$800 million, even with the payout, and even with half of the payout going to taxes, and yeah.
Yeah, I could afford to drop out of school and transfer to a diploma mill and pay them for a PhD instead of actually having to do the work.
And so we were going to talk about work.
Work.
And the value of work, the inherent value of work, even in the temptation of getting to just run off and be whatever we want to be without the work.
Yes. So, you want to talk about that? Talk about it.
Okay.
No, that'll be it.
Well, work was established before the fall, which means work was part of what was good. Because God said creation was good. And even before the fall, Adam and Eve were supposed to work the ground.
No.
And so we were created for meaningful work. We were not created to have whatever means to go off and just blow everything off and do whatever we wanted to. We were created to meaningfully work. So what does that look like after the fall? Obviously, we have to deal with the fact that everything is tainted by sin and by the curse, which includes work.
Which includes work.
It includes the things that were good before the fall.
Frustrated. Now you have frustrated work.
Frustrated
You have
work.
wasted work. You have work that does things like goes to taxes.
Yes. However, as Christians, we have redemption.
Mm-hmm.
And so what does it look like as Christians to be engaged in meaningful work as it was meant to be, even in light of the frustration? So that's the question.
I think that's a good question, and I think that part of what we need to wrestle with is that, I know last year there was all the joking about, with the Marie Kondo show debuting on Netflix about, hold the things and see if it sparks joy, and if it does not spark joy, throw it out, and so since then I've thrown out the electric bill, the water bill, I threw out all the things that didn't spark joy, the cat, but...
Yes, well, we don't really heed any of the other stuff, because she's the one that says, 30 books.
30 books is probably enough.
Well, and she did say 30 books that you haven't read.
Oh.
But still, we topped that.
Of course, I loved Trisha Goyer's picture with that. She's like, I wrote all of these.
But I wrote these.
Anyway, but just kind of that idea of, though, asking the question, how do we connect our work to what sparks joy? Mm-hmm. And back, for example, when I worked for UPS, there were times that when I was training new hires, well, do you like your job here? And my honest answer was, not every day, but I do like food. I like a roof over my head. I have kids who like to eat. Those kinds of things. And so it enabled that. And sometimes our work is meaningful directly, and sometimes it's indirect. Well, it helped me with this, or because I go to work, I have these relationships at work. you have, when it comes to some of your work, you have meaningfulness in your work because you're able to sometimes help people on their homeschooling journey and help them, strengthen their families and also not frustrate their kids in homeschool, kind of give them some
Well,
good
and even
wisdom.
if I can't do it directly,
Yeah.
I do it indirectly by creating content for them to make accessible to them. So yeah.
But so sometimes what we need to do is look for what is that meaning, and if we are blessed to be able to live without,
Good morning, Olivia.
good morning, Olivia, without having to, work excessively just to be able to make ends meet, then we should definitely be investing that. Okay, now that I am, now that I am retired, what can I do? Or now that I'm, now that I've cut myself, now that I've, having read Tim Ferriss's book and I've got myself to the 4-hour work week, which is great. If it's good work, if you can get it.
Yeah, and if you can get everything done.
If you can get everything. Well, yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of, his 4-hour work week is essentially based off of, finding residual income types of things. Write a book and just spend 30 minutes a week doing promotional stuff for it, or right, that kind of stuff. So anyway,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's a whole nother discussion.
that's an entirely different
Yeah.
discussion. But the whatever it is that you still need, you've got 168 hours in your week, and a substantial portion of that should still be invested
Sleeping.
in
And the rest
yes.
is eating and playing guitar, right?
I have to do school, but if you want to give me a pass from doing school, I can try to make some work.
No pass on school. Sorry.
Yeah, but in that time frame, there's meaningful. To fill it with meaningful things. Hey, I want to. And it may be work like, hey, I need to learn to play the guitar, which is work. That's a lot of good guitar players. How they've gotten to be good guitar players is they took natural talent and married it to discipline and skill and hard work, and then find something I'm going to do this because of this. So I think that's, we're not meant to just kick out and prop up by the lake all the time and not engage with something.
Yeah, we are not meant, and I think when you look at the 4-hour work week, what do you do with the rest of your time? You still need to fill it with meaningful things, not just kicking back. And I think that, so
And
is
he
it
actually
really,
does talk about that idea
and
of,
I believe it, but then is it really a 4-hour work week, or is it just that you have more flexibility in choosing your work? And so I think it's kind of like with school and with dragging. I'll wait until that stops. It goes away. Is it going to go away? There.
it went away.
Went away. And now we shall give it a moment to recover. But it's kind of like with school. We often separate school from the joy of learning because school is tedious. And so anything related to education is the. But I think what happens is we decide to not refer to some things as learning, and when they really are, because we don't want them to be connected to school.
No.
I think work's the same way. I think there are some things that we involve ourselves in that really are their work. They take effort and they're meaningful, but because we have a distaste for our jobs, we assume that it can't be work because work is bad.
No.
And I think that that's a mentality as Christians that we need to get over. I think
Yes.
I think that it is a godly mentality to have a positive attitude toward work.
And I think that applies all the way through to not only to the work that you go and do, but what you fill your other time with. I think it would also apply, and I know we need to wrap up, but it would also apply to when we talk about what do we need to do with church. Hey, we need to work. There is work that needs to be done, and but a lot of times you say, hey, as a church, we need to work on. We're back.
We're back. Stream resumed. So yeah, for work is not. Well, I think it frustrates me because work was ordained by God, and something ordained by God.
Work is ordained by God, And I mean that's
To be careful with that.
we need to be very careful with condemning that which God said was very good. And I think that would be kind of the spiritual point on this. Let's be careful not to condemn that which God said was very good. You want to fuss about frustrated work?
That's
fine.
fine.
You want to fuss about taxes? Hey, fuss about taxes. Although God said we have to pay them.
He did.
Those are that's very clear. And He doesn't even say only pay the fair ones,
Right.
because the Roman taxation system wasn't fair.
He said, "Render unto Caesar that which is Caesar, and render to God."
Stream failed. We're dead.
We're dead. Okay.
We're still recording, but our stream has failed.
Okay. That would failed.
I guess. I guess it's time to just stop it.